Alrighty. Pardon if you notice the messy area. Quite a busy man. That's my excuse. I'm not, but. Alrighty. Let's dig into this. Hopefully, everyone's having a most wonderful day. And you get to watch me in my own little camera there. Tell you what, let me do this just to try to see if I can get a little bit of extra light. Alrighty. So we're rebuilding Craftsman Ratchet. I believe this is a VL44809. Gotta remove this stupid sticker from the auction I bought it from. And then I'll tell you, we'll use this beautiful Gahagan Customs knife. Yes, correct. VH44809. Don't remember the date on the VH series. However, these are older Craftsmen made in the USA. These are the 36 tooth versions. Problem with this ratchet today, so it'll ratchet going on the left side, which is loose. However, it locks up when in the right orientation. If you notice, there is a little bit of rust up here, so it's very possible the way it is locked up there. It's binding up whenever you go to ratchet it. So we're gonna see if we can't get that fixed and working today. I might have to do some dremeling. If I do have to do some dremeling, I'm gonna have to go over to my workbench. I don't want to dremel here on top of my computer, obviously. So yes, let's work on getting the snap ring out. If we can try not to launch it. There we go. All right, snap ring is out. Snap ring looks to be okay. Has some crud on it. Let me grab my little paper towel here. And just try to clean it up real quick. See if it's crud or if it's rust. Because if it's rust, then we got a whole nother problem to deal with here. But if it's just crud, then we are a-okay. Let me make sure my audio is coming through. It looks like it's a little bit on the low side. Let me see here. Pull this up here. Alrighty, let's do a mic check. Oh goodness, yeah, I'm a little bit hot actually on the. I believe that's a-okay right there. Okay, yeah. Alrighty, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Alrighty, let's go ahead and close that down. Alrighty, so take my. These little brushes from Harbor Freight are the way to clean ratchets. They're not too hard. They're brass, so they're not going to destroy the metal. It just works wonderfully. And I will say, whenever you go to rebuild ratchets, there's a lot of people online that say, well, this is how you should do it. This is how you should do it. You should use this lubricant, XYZ, or you should use lubricant YXZ. And I mean, it's always good to listen to other people, but in the end, you rebuild your ratchet, and whatever happens, happens. So you see right there, there's a little bit of rust on that ring. So that'll have to be taken off with my buffer on my Dremel. Try to, there we go. I gotta focus up there. There we go. You can kind of see there's some rust right there on that ring. So that'll have to go to the Dremel, and that'll have to get cleaned up. So now that that is off, let's go ahead and lift off this faceplate. It looks like we got a mix of some mainly just dried on gunk on that faceplate there, but there is a little bit of rust underneath it as well. So let's watch this ratcheting mechanism here. All right, so this is the position it's getting locked up in. But when you switch positions here, but when you come over here, it gets locked up. You can see where the paw is not allowing it to ratchet back. Whenever you're taking these apart, you always want to be careful. There is a little ball bearing right there. Very tiny, very annoying if you lose it. You can also sometimes shoot them across the room. Don't do that in a carpeted room. You'll never find it again. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to pick up this. So whenever you pick up your anvil here, try to get to focus. Focus on my hand. All right, so whenever you get the anvil, you always want to take it, rotate it, look for any cracks, look for any skipped teeth, rolled over teeth. On this, I'm not seeing any. So that's good. Anvil's good. Good anvil. What I'm going to go ahead and do is, since I have it right here, I'm just going to take this wire brush. Again, I'm just using the brass because I don't want to mar up the metal. It's tool steel. It's not uber soft, but I just like using the brass. Feels correct to me. So there's a little bit of gunk around the head of the anvil there. Waiting for my camera to focus. So again, I'll take this to the buffer wheel. I'm just going to put everything I take to the buffer here. And it's not even really a true buffer. It's a Dremel. I'm not that fancy. I don't have a wheel in my shop, aka my office, because I do everything in my office. If you can't tell, I have a knife. I do stropping in my office. Measure stuff. I have random empty box knives in my office. Yeah. Alrighty, so the next step here is going to be to remove this. The way you're going to remove this piece here, I like to go into neutral in the selector switch on the back. And then it's like the... So it's a little stuck there. So what we'll do is we're going to just knock it on something a little harder. There we go. Alrighty, so this is the older school Craftsman right here. That has the brass, I believe it is, or it looks at least to be brass, maybe copper. I doubt. Oh, hello, Jesus. I doubt it's actually copper. More than likely, definitely brass. Selector switch there. Let me see if I can get focus. This is how every ratchet selector switch should be. It should be metal. Plastic ones become brittle over time. And would you focus, please? There we go. Brass ones don't become brittle over time. You can see they have some scratches on it, but it'll clean right up. We got a little bit of gunk in here, so I think what was probably causing the issues with this was some older gunked up paste or older lube on here, and over time it just becomes less efficient. This is the ball bearing. If you lose, just like that, if you lose the ball bearing, you will have to find another. This might be close enough to a BB. You could use a BB, like from a BB gun, and be fine. On the 1/4-inch ones, though, they are absolutely tiny. I have a bag of them somewhere here. There they are. So these are the ball bearings. These are 440 steel, remanufactured. These are ball bearings for the 1/4-inch ratchets. Jesus, what are you doing up so early? Or are you a working man? I can't remember. I always assumed Jesus had easy jobs. Oh, you're only 2 hours behind, I guess. Yeah. I always think you guys are like 3.5. There we go. So got that cleaned up just with a little bit of brush love. So that can sit over here. Let's check out this paw. So the paw sits down here on the lower side of the ratchet. That selector switch fits in the back, and it tells it to go left to right. When it goes left to right, it catches on the anvil, thus causing your ratcheting mechanism. So this does, if you, let me see if I can't get it to focus again here. Oh, almost had it. This is the slowest focusing webcam I've ever seen. All right, let's try this here. Voila. There we go. So it's got some gunk on the paw itself, but nothing that should have caused it to like fail up. So I think it's a mix of, there's a little bit of, I'll try to show you the inside here. There's also a spring right here. That spring can only just sit there, but I'm probably going to take the Dremel and clean out the inside of this head here. So to keep the spring in place, I don't want to destroy it. I'm going to pop it out. But you got a little bit of dried up grease and gunk in there. So far, I haven't seen any mechanical reason why it shouldn't have been ratcheting back and forth. I think probably just age. Let me pull it up here and I'll tell you. When was the VH? Yeah. VH spin ratchet made. Let's see here. Lots of V shifters. So this had VH. So between 19... Let's see here. Between 1986 to 95 for these right here would be the roundabout made date, according to the internet, which the internet's always correct, and never forget it. So our next step, let me take this right here. I'm going to do a quick little dry fit and see if I just take this. I've been kind of busy with work, and I've gotten into knives over guns. Yeah, still a member over on his channel, however. I occasionally hop in calls. Not nearly as active as I used to be. Kind of miss hanging out with the guys and playing poker, but I've kind of got involved in buying knives, and knives are expensive, but they're also a cool group of guys in the knife crew I'm in, if you will. So let me clean this up, and we'll see if we can't get this to function like a correct ratchet. I've got fat fingers, so I always use pliers, and I can set the ball, unless they're magnetic pliers, then okay, sit. Good ball bearing. Yeah, if you don't talk to your ball bearing, you're not repairing your ratchets correctly. Let me see if I cannot maneuver. Yep. So, I'm sure if you saw that. There it is. That popped out. What we'll do real quick, though, we're just going to take this right here. Going to insert it. We'll take this to just put a little pressure on it. So, let's see here. All right, so it catches on that side. See if it'll catch on the other side if we lock it up. Oh, If I was, I did not notice. I mean, it's whatever it is. But let me try to get this back in place here. There was a purge. I guess you can call it the Great Overton Purge. Sit. Oh dear. So we lost a ball bearing. It fell down. Luckily, I saw exactly where it fell down into my bag at. Well, I thought I saw it fall down here into my bag. Let me grab my magnet. There it is. All right. When in doubt, always have a magnet handy. Let me check my cellular device. I'll tell you if I did get removed, which she said I did. So either way, I mean, it's not a massive deal of any type. Oh yeah, I did get removed. Okay. Goodness, he had a mass exodus there, didn't he? Not really a mass exodus. He just removed a lot of people. Even, interesting. Yeah, I guess he's moving it down to his more core people. I guess. I mean, that's cool. Not a problem. It's 2025. Do whatever you want, including cocaine. Okay, don't do cocaine. Or if you do it responsibly. Did you get removed as well? Or are you still inside of it? Okay, let's just do this the old way. Just finger it in there. For those of you who have just joined, we are repairing a Craftsman Ratchet. This is a VH 44809. It's a 1/2 inch Ratchet. There we go. Alrighty, so yeah, I saw that as well. You removed a lot of you removed Ridge Runner, so there we go. So it ratchets this way. And it holds tension. Let me grab the good old channel lock, or this ain't channel locks. Hold on. This is an outrage. These are channel locks. Let's see here. Yep. So it still holds tension, well, as much as my little hand can give. So that's good. Very good. Let me switch this around here. We'll go to the opposite side here. Yeah, they are. Not even next to each other, and a majority of their stuff's in the same building. Yeah, they have. It's kind of a double-sided building right beside each other. All right, so this works. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it over to the wire wheel, or I might. Should I make a mess and just bring everything over here and grind or do everything? I'm just going to do everything here. Screw it. If I make a mess, it's my own desk. Oh well. Just vacuum it up. So yeah, let's go ahead and remove that. Me knock that out. Out comes the ball bearing. And I'll show you. And this kind of caught me up the first time I tore one of these apart. This spring does not sit flush inside of the ratchet. It kind of sits at an angle. Perfectly fine. And in case you want to see the spring, let me. There you go. Just a simple little spring. Now, Jesus, did you end up going to Overton's meetup? And if you did you get to meet Jason and Evan? I know they were up there. I'm not sure how long. I couldn't remember if they were up there for the whole thing or not. But yeah, Jason's super cool. Evan's also super, super cool. Let me go grab my Dremel. Alrighty, so wheel attachments. I've got pretty simple 2 wire wheels right here. Then along with that, I have kind of a Scotch-Brite pad wheel. Again, I just trying to clean these up a little bit, get some of the gunk off of them. Alrighty, we'll start off here with the wire wheel. And what I might do, just to keep debris down, so I'll put that right there and just kind of go wild with it. Can only go south. Yeah, I know. I want to go. No, that didn't work out. Oh well. I wanted to go to Overton's meetup, but I already went to the Isle of Man. That tied up my kind of vacation budget, and then also on top of that, it's just I could fly out there, or I could drive out there. If I drive out there, it's like a 22, 23 hour drive, and that's just a long time inside of a car. If I fly out there, then I have to do a rental car. And getting a rental car to get in where I think he went might be a little tedious. And, well, I'm not trying to buy a rental car. So right now, just taking this, cleaning up the old gunk. Not too much pressure, not a ton of speed either. Let me go ahead and show this to you guys. So you can see that cleaned up quite well. Towards the end, I'm just going to take a pick and just clean up inside of here. That little ring, it's kind of hard to see there. That little ring is just for the snap ring to sit into. So nothing super important. It doesn't have to be super clean or anything. I'm going to sneak this here into here. Alrighty. There we go. Let me use these napkins. They're definitely not from my last fast food venture. And clean this here on out. Hopefully everyone's having a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday morning. I got off night shift about 7 o'clock, so about an hour and a half ago. And figured I would come knock some of this out I've been needing to do, because procrastination does nothing good. Just gonna, you gotta squint your eyes so you're OSHA compliant. There we go. Alrighty, so we got a pretty clean housing. A little bit of gunk back on that selector area, but I'm not going to put a whole bunch of work into cleaning that selector area back there that has no real mechanical significance. It just is the back. All right. Now that that's done, let's go ahead and I already cleaned the teeth. So the teeth do have some wear, it looks like, on them. Let me take a picture of that. So I do resell these ratchets, so I always like to take pictures of the internals just to show how they actually look. Let me. So these internals have a little bit of marring on them. But no rolled edges that should cause a problem. It looks like there's some dirt that got in on one side and put some teeth marks, but nothing that I see that's automatically concerning or would make me want to get a different anvil for this. And the nice thing is, even with this being Craftsman, so if someone buys it, they use it, it slips teeth, it breaks, they can take it to the local Sears. Just kidding. It's not 2010. They can take it to the local Lowe's. Just do a straight trade out. They don't hassle you about it. It's pretty simple situation to go through. There we go. So now I'm just going to clean up the grime here. There we go. So you can see right here, let me get it to focus on my hand. This is ridiculous. So you can see right here, cleaned up pretty well. No more rust sitting around on it. So that's done. I'm going to put this over here in the done pile, aka back on the ratchet. Next part is this right here. These are the paw, or this is the paw. Used to be you only had one paw. Now they have two paws, and the paws aren't nearly as big as this thing is here. But they seem to be holding up just as well. So, new materials, new metals, new stuff. It may seem contradictory to us who are like, oh, well, bigger, better. No. So this paw does have some deterioration to it. Nothing that would make it non-serviceable, however. So this is just a little bit of surface rust right here, so I'm going to kick it up a touch. There we go. Alrighty. So these next two parts, they're just some surface rust on them or some dirt. Instead of using the wire brush, I like to use Scotch-Brite. Doesn't quite scratch up the surface as much. So we'll start on the inside here. We're just going to run it nice and slow. We're just going to go a nice little circular pattern here. Not spending a ton of time on one particular spot because you don't want to create a hot spot. You just want to kind of, rough it up and clean up and get most of the old gunkies out. Alrighty, so now we're going to clean the other side. So you can see right here that faceplate cleaned up pretty good. You're going to have a little ring here. That's from the inside. It's where the anvil rides up against it. But dirt-wise, that's pretty clean, pretty good. A little bit of grease up there on the top. I'm going to try to take care of real quick. A little old grease ain't never killed nothing. Something like that. There we go. So now time to hit the other side here. It's got a little bit of surface issues as well. Again, not a ton of speed. We're just wanting to clean it up a little bit. Maybe a little bit of extra speed right here on top of the surface rust itself. Continuous movement. You don't want to get it too hot. Don't want to burn it or anything like that. There we go. All righty. I'd say good enough for government work. If I can get it to focus. I swear, I'm going to fire my camera. And it's just some old deterioration, nothing too severe. And then this pin right here, or the pin snap ring, I'm just going to clean that up real quick as well. Just a little love. There we go. Alrighty, so we got all that done. My next part is to start putting everything back together. So I'll take the body of the ratchet here. We're going to reinsert dust spring. The tip of my scissors being magnetic is starting to really annoy me. There we go. Alrighty. Next part's going to be the ball bearing. Let's try to finger it in here. There we go. Next part's going to be the paw right here. There we go. So now that it's partially in there, you have to back it back out. And you have to put in your selector here without going as far as to push out the ball bearing. Very tediousness. Then once you get that in, you are set. Let me see. I got someone texting me real quick. Alrighty. Now time for the lube. So I use this right here, Super Lube. It works great. Doesn't come very easy. Main areas I lube. I'm going to put a little bit down here near this ball bearing just to keep it popping over nice and easy. I normally have a little knife I use for it. However, it appears I am currently knifeless. So we're going to do it the old school way. Just going to take it here, put it on the finger, kind of shove it down in there. We'll take this here, we'll pop it back and forth. There we go. Look at that. That is absolutely butter. It's exactly what you want. The next part I do here, some people say to do, some people say not to do. I put a little bit of grease on the teeth right here. It helps that ratcheting be nice and smooth and remove some back drag. Some people say, oh, it's going to make it slip. It shouldn't slip. The only reason you're going to slip on your metal is if you go hard enough to round over the edges or break the paw. So I just put a thin lining here inside the housing. I mean, just barely any. Just enough to lube the entire housing there. And then take a little dabbing here on my finger. We're just going to kind of circle around. I'll normally go more on the front side here of it. And we're not doing super heavy. Just a nice little lubrication lip. There we go. Then I'll spread it all over. So now let's go back here. Oh yeah, that's nice and smooth. You can hear that beautiful 36 tooth ratchet just purring. Alrighty. So next we go with the faceplate. There we go. And then get my snap ring pliers. I'm gonna squeeze. There we go. Oh yeah. There you go. Brand new. That thing for this old 36 tooth. No back drag at all. That's beautiful. There we go. Paid, I think it was like $6 for this ratchet. I sell them on eBay, and these old 36 tooth Craftsman can only go for about $20 a pop. Is it worth it as a business model? No, probably not. But it gives me something to do and makes me a little bit of side income. And, they say idle hands are of the devil's work, so keep yourself a little busy doing something. That's just beautiful. Take my channel locks. We'll do a little torque down here. Let me flip it around here. Yep, that worked. And that, yep, there we go. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Alrighty. Do we want to rebuild another ratchet, or are we done for the day? We're done for the day. Alrighty. Well, it's been fun rebuilding ratchets with you guys. Hope you all had a wonderful time. Jesus, I think you're the only one who stuck around long enough to watch the whole thing. I appreciate it. Icon or Craftsman? So if I was buying brand new today, I would buy Icon personally. Their G2 ratchets are really good. Watch the Torque Test channel. They watch Torque Test channel. They do some torch tests on newer Craftsman and then Icon. Icon torque wise does a little bit better than Snap-on ratchets do. Icon's kind of an improved but rip-off version of how Snap-on's doing their ratchets right now. However, like with this here, I paid $5 for it. Probably resell it for $20. And whoever has it will use it till it breaks, go in, get a new one from Craftsman, and then continue on. At this point, Craftsman used to be the professional brand. Craftsman more is just prosumer. Not prosumer. Prosumer, if you will. It's a cheap way to get into ratchets. If you just work around the house, man, get yourself an old set of 36 toothers. They'll do the job. If they ever break, take them to Lowe's, get new ones. If you want to go ball on a budget, Icon, if you need an Icon ratchet, they're coming up on their 40% sale, where they normally, again, list everything 40% off for Icon ratchets. The G2 stuff is nuts. It's amazing for the price. So today's day and age, if you don't already have an older Craftsman that you're planning on, if it breaks, retiring out, then I would go to the Icon. Yeah, Jesus, if your dad has a ton of old Craftsman, you can do this to it, man. Don't make them run right, just as new. And if you already have Craftsman, you're gonna be fine. Most of the 3/8 ratchets don't break until it's 250 foot-pounds, and you're not going to be putting 250 foot-pounds reasonably on a 3/8 ratchet. Maybe a 1/2 inch, but I've been very much tempted to get a hold of Torque Test channel and see if he would want one of my ratchets and one of my rebuilds, if you will, just to see how old Craftsman goes up against new Craftsman. I think that'd be interesting to see. So I'm probably going to email him one of these days to see if he'd be interested in it, because it'd be cool to see old Craftsman versus new, because new Craftsman is no longer made in China. It's made in Taiwan mostly. And so that'd be pretty interesting. I have one more, actually. I'm going to grab real quick. It will knock it out. Let me grab it here. All right. So these next ones here, we're going to see what we can do. So this is older Craftsman than that. This might be from the maybe the 80s, maybe a little older. Don't hold me to it. So these are two of the exact same. No, correction. They're not two of the exact same. Oh, hold on. Oh, no, they are. I'm just retarded. You can see the problem here. This selector switch has broken off. This one has not. This one ratchets plenty fine. This one ratchets feels a little rough. So what we'll probably do, take this, clean it up, re-lube it, take this apart, and then sell the paw, the anvil, and the front piece itself as a rebuild kit, because these rebuild kits are almost impossible to get. and you can't get replacement parts for that. So I either replace it out for a Taiwanese piece or tear it down, sell it to someone so they can keep their tool working. And some people have sentimental tools, like Jesus. You said your dad has a whole bunch of Craftsman. I'm not sure if it's older Craftsman or not. I'm assuming if it's from your father, it is older Craftsman. I will say though, I've never tore down one of these before. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Yeah, some people just have sentimental connection to their tools, and that's fine. Especially if you and your dad worked on them at some point, don't want to just throw away an old tool just to get a Taiwanese half done, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of guessing there's charts you can pull up, but this one here went back to 85. The model number here went back to 85 to 90s, I believe it was. So based off of how that switch on the back's designed, the front, instead of a snap ring, they still have a snap ring, but it's not eyelided or anything. For me, that kind of dates it back. I could be off wrong. But based off of the markings on it, let me grab. By the way, guys, if you need a knife, this is a wonderful knife. This is a Hagen Custom small maker out of North Carolina. Makes 80 CRV knives, and this is just a beautiful skinner that also works great for skinning off labels. All right, so I had a chart. Pull it up here. Control H. No. Alrighty, so it says here. So this says forged in USA, patent pending, V 47. Let's see here. So this one should be 1981 to 83. So I was incorrect. Based off of the patent pending and the V mark here. No, I have not reached ransom level knives. This Gehagen right here. So this is a small maker. I actually did a double liner setup on it. Made a little bit beefier, a little bit better hold, but this is a killer skinner knife. Skinner / outdoor. You can definitely baton through some trees. 80 CRV is a great steel. A friend of mine who does leather work, you can see his maker mark right here. He made me a beautiful 2-inch wide strap because the 1-inch wide straps just don't quite hit the level for me. So yeah. One day I will obtain ransom level of knives, though. Starting to think maybe ransom has a problem with knives. Just kidding. You can't have a problem with knives. Let me try to grab. That might work. Try to push this little thing over just a touch. There we go. Alrighty. Snap ring out. Let me see. Does this collar pop off so I can see? Yeah, it does. So this has a lot of dirt in it so far, which I mean, not overly surprising. Oh, this is old school here. Okay, so let me see if I can get it up close and get it to focus. So it's kind of hard to see, But right down here, when I move the selector, it pushes that head around. So this looks maybe like a 24 tooth instead of a 36. So a lot less engagement on the paw here. Let me see if I can't get that too. There you go. So you only a little bit of a different design here. Not saying it's bad or good because I honestly don't know, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, leatherwork seems like a pretty cool hobby with a pretty low level entry. From the little bit of digging around I've done, compared to like knives, or anything else. So we're gonna start out. So this will be a little bit different, because I'm not sure if I want to try to tear into that or not, to be honest. Just because I'm concerned I may finagle something up, and not be able to get it to go back correctly. And also, since I have the other one, this one right here, that I need to tear down because it's broken, we're going to do it on that. That'll be our scientific discovery piece, if you will. So let's start out with a little bit of just TLC and cleaning. I'm going to break out the handy dandy brass brush. There we go. Gonna there we go. No, so I don't have any Fire Creek Forge knives. They look beautiful. I want some. I just am bad at saving my money for them. No, Fire Creek Forge, definitely worth it. The Mini Muck looks amazing. It's kind of a Nessmuck style design knife that you can use for about anything. You can EDC it. I've got to hold one and I've got to play with it, but I don't own one. Ooh. So we may have to change our plans because this. So let me see if I can get this to focus here. All right, let me put the hand behind it here. All right, so this is why you always have to inspect your parts. So if you can see, there's a little bit of metal shrapnel there, and then right here, if I'm trying to see how, there you go. You can see it kind of shredded here and left little nubs on the front. So that is not good. That's not going to be repairable. So that's going to the trash. So now we're going to see, put that in the trash bowl. We're going to see if I can tear apart this, get that anvil, see if it's still functioning, see if it's not destroyed like that one. Then we'll be able to make one complete ratchet. Yeah, there's a. I was wondering where that excess metal from there came from, and we found out. Let me go ahead and just pick up those excess metal parts there. But no, so Jesus, if you don't know, if you want to look at and so forth with some knives, Ridge Runner Blade's the guy to go to, in my opinion. He's the, I call him my knife guy. Just like you go to a pharmacist for some drugs, go to him for some knives. And he's got a great collection. He won't sell you junk. I would buy anything he sells without a doubt of is this a good product worth anything. There we go. All right, let's take the wire brush here and Dremel. Yeah, he has a pretty high I don't want to say anything too much, but he's not afraid to fire a knife maker, if you will. We don't like doing that. There we go. Okay. So real quick inspection on the paws here. This one here looks a little rounded. Let me go ahead and take a picture of that. We'll inspect this other one. We'll make a decision from there. It's that second paw is a little bit on the rounded side. Still has the one paw. I'm Jesus, man. I'll see you. You take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day. So, let me tear down this here. We will go from there. I'll go ahead and I'm going to end the live stream here, boys. Y'all take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And peace be to you. And Jesus loves you.